which they met that guideline. And then also other criteria that Molly put in there was a minimum of 1 2-story deck, which is deck above a deck. And then we wanted at least 2 panels so that kids can be on the deck and play with a panel. Minimum of 1 overhead climber, a minimum of 1 rock boulder climbing wall, 1 transfer station, which is fairly common. That's just an access point for somebody in a wheelchair to pull up, get off of their wheelchair, and then go up some stairs. A minimum of 2 slides with no spiral or corkscrew slides in there. 3 bays of swings, so that would be 6 total swings. A minimum of 1 net climber, 1 tire swing, and then kind of a new age teeter-totter instead of the standard one with springs. And then optional equipment that was strongly favored was spinners, a zip line, and a pod bridge or something equal. So basically, we put that out, and hopefully that met all of your guidelines and requirements. I'm kind of thinking that did, so, but I wasn't involved with that portion of it. We put it out, and we received 8 different proposals from 8 different companies. And then what we did is we had a group from City Hall with some qualified people to assess the playgrounds. And we had scoring criteria that we listed in the proposals. And basically that scoring criteria was spelled out as we were going to score all of the playgrounds based on number of components that they provide in the design, the originality of it, and then also the creativity or the play value, I should say, was the other part. And then we also ranked them on their warranty, because we obviously want some heavy-duty equipment. And let me just tell you how that was broken down point-wise, if I can retract that down here. Well, I'm going off of memory here because I don't see it right here. But I believe that for number of components, we gave it 15 points. For originality or creativity, we gave it 25 points. And then for sheer play value, we gave it 50 points. For warranty, we only gave 5 points. So if you total that up, that's roughly about 100 points. And then we had a group of 4 individuals scoring each playground. And what we did is we first went through each one individually and looked to see if they met the criteria that I just listed to you. 2 out of those 8 proposals did not meet the criteria, so we didn't score them. They didn't meet the minimum criteria of what we said they had to quote on. But that still gave us at least 6 companies to review. And after we went through the scoring system and reviewed all of those things and set points to it, this was the #1 proposal. And I'll tell you that all 4 individuals who were on the committee, myself being one of them, we all scored independently of each other. Nobody knew how each one was ranking it. This one came up #1 for all 4 individuals. And point-wise, total point-wise, this one scored a total of 370 points out of a possible 400 points in the scoring system. The next one down was 329 points. So, you know, you're talking roughly a 41-point difference between this one and the next one. And it was, like I said, it was consistent. And let me kind of go over this design with you, and then I'll kind of go over some of the other ones if you want to see them. I can show you those proposals too. But really why this one was chosen strongly over the other ones was the creativity of it and the play value. You can see here by some of the equipment that they spec, it's just very unique equipment, stuff you don't see every day. And they didn't highlight all of it, they just highlighted some of it. Like for example, this triple slide here. If you actually take a look at the plan, they say that there's a spine climber underneath. So there's actually a climber underneath this slide that you can't see. Very unique, not a lot of companies, actually I don't think any other companies do that. This rope climber is unique. I've looked through all the playground catalogs. No one else supplies one like that. You know, the rock climbers are important to you guys, and so we wanted something other than just a panel going up. We wanted an actual boulder-looking element. And you can see, you know, these rock blocks actually are fairly significant in size. If you take a look at this one, you have a fairly decent sized rock climbing wall in this one. And then we also looked at the number of components and how many kids can play on this at one time. Because it's kind of spread out and you have a lot of different activities, a lot of overhead climbers, basically the kids can spread out quite a bit. And there's a lot of things for them to do, and they're not all clustered in one tight space. And so, you know, there's just a lot of unique features in this one, and they met all of the criteria that was spelled out, and like I said, everyone was very happy with this design. Now, how it's going to go forward from here is we have to make a proposal to the Finance Committee, and so our committee will go forward, make a proposal saying we went through this scoring system just like I spelled out to you, and this was the #1 score on the playground. And then hopefully the Finance Committee would agree with that, and then we would then go to Council for final approval to purchase the playground. Once it goes to Council, what we would do is whatever playground is selected and the City Council approves, we would issue a purchase order to that playground company. And then what I'd like to do is come back to your group one more time and actually sit down with the catalog for the playground equipment vendor, and at that point we would switch things out. So if there's things we don't like in this, or when you're looking through the catalog, if there's other equipment that you really do like, we can switch them out as long as the total dollar amount doesn't change. So we would switch price, similar price things for other similar price things. And any other changes that you would want to, we would comply with also. We work with your group on that. We unfortunately can't make those changes ahead of time until we select a playground manufacturer, because basically all the manufacturers and suppliers submitted a proposal. We compared apples to apples with the scoring criteria. And basically, with the scoring criteria we came up with and all of the people involved with it, this was the #1 company. And so, so we'll issue the PO to them if everybody is in agreement with that, if everybody's happy with what they see here. And then we'll work with you to tweak it. You know, if you don't like the color scheme, we can talk about that. If you don't like a certain bridge or you'd like to see a different one, we can work with you on that. But really the key is we had to compare apples to apples with the original proposal. And I guess that being said, does anybody have any initial comments or questions on the process or this particular playground? Or would you like to see some of the other proposals that came forward? Will it be wood chips? It will be wood chips, that's all that we have the budget for. And we'll keep the similar edging. I don't know, it looks like we roughly meet the same outline, so the shape of it won't change, and this will all just fit in place right there. If we do have to change it, it'll be minimal. And those wood chips are quality wood chips. It looks like we just probably topped it off this spring, and so we're going to use as much as we can to keep the cost down. But what's being shown here is a replacement of everything out there. So I hope that you're in agreement with that. I'm just telling you that that's what you wanted because I wasn't involved with those